There's been a lot happening this year, 2020, as you can see. And since the pandemic happened in March, a lot of our work has changed immediately because as a Native-led nonprofit, we are a grassroots-driven organization. And the way our board is set up is that there's each of our board members represent a Native community in San Juan County, Utah, and they are always on the ground and they hear the needs and priorities of their community. So the first priority that they mentioned to us as an organization is water, access to water, because our community are lacking water access not only for their household use but also for their livestock and their cornfields. And just when the pandemic hit, it was also planting season, so we knew we had to provide water for our local food producers and even sheep producers, and just for the household, for families to be able to wash their hands and sanitize, and even to just for personal hygiene. So that was the number one priority. And the second one was assisting our community with COVID food relief efforts and providing boxes of food and helping our local partners in providing the community needs in that way. So for my role as a traditional foods program director, we launched the Seeds and Sheep program in response to COVID relief efforts, which is in response to our board priority, who are on the ground in the community listening to our elders and our knowledge holders. And one of our mission is about healing. It's about elevating traditional knowledge and passing on those teachings to our younger generation. And one way to do that is having the kids home during this pandemic is an advantage. So having them go out and plant the seeds in the ground and watch it grow. And also being out here tending to the livestock, there's just many teachings with that within itself, because taking care of the land, taking care of the livestock, it's in our songs, it's in our prayers, and that's what keeps us, it gives us life and it gives us happiness. Being out in the community with our elders, a lot of them still have big flocks of sheep like this, but the only thing that gives them strength is tending to their sheep, because the sheep provides everything. It gives us economy, the wool economy. It gives us our artwork for our rug weavers, and it provides us with food when needed. And of course, there's always an offering done. Since the launch of our Seeds and Sheep program, we started off with mailing packets of seeds. We mailed out 1,500 seed packets throughout the Four Corners region to over 300 families that requested them through our online survey. Our original goal was to send seeds out to 100 families, but we exceeded that, and we saw the high need and interest in planting even with the beginner farmers. So that was very encouraging. And we also, this fall, are focusing on sourcing Navajo churro sheep. We got 21 churro sheep that were donated from Boulder, Utah by Wolf March. And just yesterday, we hauled 20 sheep from the Bayaketi family in Big Mountain. So it's a win-win situation where we fundraise to support our elders who have large flocks of sheep but want to limit their stock down. It lessens the burden on their end, but it also helps them with hauling water or more hay for the sheep that they have. So this program is really about supporting our elders in that way, supporting the sheep producers, and they are very supportive and interested in who we give the sheep out to. So we give a pair of sheep out to families that are very committed in wanting to restore their flocks of sheep, and also have that sheep raising knowledge from their parents and their grandparents, because a lot of us grew up that way, being raised with sheep around. And with our sheep program, we fundraised enough to purchase 80 sheep, Navajo Trail sheep, and there are some families interested in Rambouillet sheep. So we are giving out 40 pairs of sheep to 40 families throughout Native Americans in San Juan County, and this includes Ute, Mountain Ute, White Mesa area. Yeah, since the launch of our seeds program, we mailed out a bunch of seeds, and we're excited that harvest season is coming up. We also planted corn in our cornfield, and we harvested all the corn and grinded all the corn kernels and made into the goi, which is kneel down bread. So there's a lot of fall produce that are being ready to harvest, and a lot of the corn traditional recipes that are out there. In one book, I really recommend that if people are interested in the traditional corn recipe, and about traditional foods tied to Navajo. It's Cooking with Tall Women, Food Sovereignty, the Navajo Way. That has a lot of information and recipes from using like glish, the bentonite clay, how that impacts the nutritional content, and also the gut, the juniper ash, how that also provides some minerals. So it's a very good book, and it has a lot of teachings that you can learn from just being at home. Yeah, thank you all for joining us and continuing to be part of our narrative at Bears Ears. So join us online, and I hope you enjoy listening to our speakers.